you know. And so I'm gonna kind of maybe go back to the drawing board, maybe try to be straight blue-black. But that deck still needs work, sadly. Have I ever thought about putting a Celestial Colonnade in this deck? I think that'd be pretty powerful. Am I running Claimed Fame? No, this is not a like sacrifice deck. We don't have, you know, Carrion Feeder. Anything's a sack like that. So it's pretty good though. I've been really impressed by Magmatic Channeler, I'll say. Channeler has been an all-star so far. If I switch to Sultai, would I be interested in your pet card Uro? I don't think Uro's very good. Sorry to say it. It's okay that you like the card. Doesn't mean it's competitively viable. I guess while we wait for our opponent, I can just kind of pull up Sultai, Sultai, Sultai. Yeah, this is. I mean, this is like I went to play 2 matches of this deck yesterday. I was 1-1 and I ended up dropping just because of the mana base. I mean, it was functional. It definitely worked, but boy, is playing Ice Fang in your Witch's Cottage deck awkward. And I did feel like that it worked, but the problem is like you can't play Cryptic Command, you can't play Archmage's Charm. At that point, like Snapcasters get much worse when you can't play like whoa, Caverns, Exiled Narcomoeba. So we lose. So we lose. Awesome. I feel like we could never beat Dredge game 1. But I don't think I've ever seen Gemstone Caverns out of Dredge. Oh, Claim to Fame. Gotcha. I'm playing Unearth instead because we have a lot of 3-drops. I thought you meant Claim to Firstborn. Good morning, Protein Hulk. We're so dead. Our sideboard plan is also like not great against them. We have the Madcap Experiment plan, which like in my experience it usually steals you game 2. And then the problem is game 3, it's not hard for them to bring in a lot of hate for it. It is possible that maybe Kroxa kills our opponent. I don't know. They get back all 3 lands with the Loam. And they have a Shriekhorn. Shriekhorn's pretty bad for us. Do I just want to bolt my opponent? I feel like they don't, yeah, I'm just going to bolt them. I feel like they don't have good things for us to discard here. I'm going to play a fetch land as well so that I can fill up my graveyard as quickly as I can for Kroxa. And if, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I could escape Kroxa next turn if I cast Fatal Push. I guess I could push my own Channeler. Okay, now I don't need to do that. Am I still sold on 2 Unearth? No, I'm not. My sample size is still like very small for this deck. You got a lot of different choices. You know what? Honestly, it's like we could really just never win this game. We honestly could never ever win that game. Game 1 against Dredge is just so terribly unwinnable. We might even need to just be rethinking the 75. I think I'm going to bring in Fulminator Mage. I think I like have to bring in Fulminator. Would I be up for doing a Boros Land Destruction deck? Maybe? Is it Ice 9's list? Maybe? I think now I'll say no to Boros Land Destruction. Unless there's like some spice. That's pretty cool. How much is the swamp? Less than a ticket on Magic Online. I have no idea how much in paper. Probably a lot in paper. But not very expensive on Magic Online. Trying to get a list to incorporate Ephemerate, Avalanche Riders, and usual Boros stuff. Yeah, if you've got a sweet list, I'll take a look, but... What? Okay, you're welcome. Could you donate for Urza Turns? Is that like the deck we saw yesterday? If it's the deck we saw yesterday, I'd be down. Although I'd probably prefer the Paradox Engine if it's the exact same list we saw yesterday. I'd probably prefer the engine to be a Karn target. Channeler plus Kroxa feels like a Nambo? Really? You get to discard Kroxa to your Channeler. I do understand that it like shrinks your Channeler, but I don't think that that's that big a deal. Yeah, I think Channeler is very good. I've been really, really happy with it. I don't feel like this is a Nambo at all. Like, it fills up your graveyard for your Kroxa. Alright, this is the only card in the matchup that matters, so we're going to keep. How do I like the old border compared to the newer ones? It depends on the card. Like, typically for instants and sorceries, I prefer the old border, but for creatures and multicolored spells, I really don't like the old border. Like, specifically the multicolored old border, I just despise. You made Fran play it. We made some changes from what you saw yesterday. Yeah, if you send me the list, I'll take a look and I'll let you know if I'd play it or not. Arc-like Channeler win. I think Channeler is way, way better in red-black than in any other color combination. So hopefully this is just 4 mana to win the game, this game. Then our opponent will bring in answers that hopefully we can discard and then win again. The Goryo's deck was good yesterday. We lost playing for 5-0 with it. The deck looked pretty impressive. Might be something that we revisit. We should live to get to Madcap. I'm going to cycle Unearth. Would like to find a discard spell, just in case they do have like a Nature's Claim in their hand or something. Maybe find a Fulminator Mage. Playing out my fetches because we can't fetch once the Emperion is in play. One nice thing is if next turn if we draw an Emperion, we can actually discard it to Channeler, and then Witch's Cottage to put it on top just to keep the second Emperion in our deck. They do have a Conflagrate here. So they can Conflagrate me down to a low enough life total that they can attack with the Bloodghasts. I guess they can also Conflagrate... They can Conflagrate my Emperion if they wait. So hopefully they do this turn. Lazav Cottage. Cool. I kind of feel like this is an Aether Vial deck. I feel like Lazav, Kroxa, Seasoned Pyromancer, Luris, I'll play well with Vial. Can maybe go down on some of the 1-mana removal spells to play the Vial. Is a car alarm going off in the background? Mana base actually seems decent too because you only have single blue and oh no, you have double red though. Seems doable. I mean the blue splash is pretty light, but it seems doable. I would like to play Aether Vial in this deck though. Cottage also plays well with Vial. Your sideboard looks fine. Probably needs more prowess hate. Draven, 10 months. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate you, buddy. But I think that's a good first draft. Maybe it's great. Well, maybe a turn too late on that. Just gonna madcap and hope. Does the Madcap plan get better in blue decks with counter spells? I mean, it's about as good with discard spells and counter spells. It's about the same, I think. Notably, my opponent can conflagrate this in a couple of turns, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to beat that. Unless we draw a second Madcap. Aha! Take that, Creeping Chill. Madcap is not good versus Titan decks, no. They just can kill it pretty easily with Valakut. This might be the deck's worst matchup. So they play land, go down to 5 cards. Next turn they can go... They go up to 7 cards next turn, or 8. Land, 5 cards in hand. Dredge Loam, cast Loam down to 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they actually only have 2 lands in their graveyard right now. I guess they can also just maybe go land Loam right now and conflagrate the Emperion next turn. Although we can actually, yeah, we can get a card out of their hand here, so they can't conflagrate this next turn. Just by shrinking their hand size by 1. And then we can try to find either our one of Cling to Dust or one of our 3 other Madcap Experiments. And then if their only answer to this is conflagrate, we can win this game. Did I miscount? I think I did. 5, 8. No, yeah, no. They can only hit this for 7 this turn. That being said, we have to find exactly our 1 Cling to Dust, and we can go. We can get rid of their conflagrate with the Cling to Dust, or we can find one of our Madcaps. And we have 3 looks because of the Channeler, so not the worst chances ever. I guess that would be another look for only Cling to Dust. I guess we could find Madcap if we find a land too. I mean, Thoughtseize is the only one of these 2 spells that actually does anything. It is possible that actually now that with Spyro we can just survive a turn. So they're going to conflagrate this for 8, I guess. I put a Sultai list with Cottage together yesterday. The deck needs some work though. Block, 1, 5, plus 6, 11, 12. Thoughtseize again. Thoughtseize doesn't do it because they're going to have enough with the Loam. But they're going to be able to go up to 8 cards in hand, then Loam up to 10, so they can kill one of my blockers. But we'll still have 2 blockers if we play this. And according to my calculations, we're not dead. They have no lands in the yard. Oh. I totally didn't notice that. I mean, they're pretty likely to hit at least 1, though. But you make a good point. And there's a land. They didn't dredge. That seems wrong, right? They wanted to be just putting lands in the yard. Okay, yeah. The Thoughtseize land wouldn't have worked. So we get, and we do get to Unearth Seasoned Pyromancer next turn, which is going to give us maybe like 5 looks at another Madcap if we get to keep a Channeler in play. Do you think I had anything to do with your foil plus of Onthonites being 80? Maybe. Yeah, so they can kill Emperion and one blocker. I believe if they conflagrate me, I don't actually take the damage. And so we get to go block here, take 5, plus 6, plus 1, which is 12, and we're at 13. So I think we get to untap. How many chills are left? I don't think it matters, right? Because they can't chill us on their draw step. There's like at most 2 left. But I don't think it really matters, since they're going to be conflagrating this turn, so they're not dredging after Emperion is dead. This damage can't be prevented get around Emperion. It does not, no. Alright, so we get to go block, go to 1, and see if I did my math right. Amazing. Alright, this is not... So this normally in most decks would be a terrible draw. I mean, it is a terrible draw. But if we can draw a Witch's Cottage, we can still win. We have to draw Witch's Cottage and Madcap. It's not looking great. I actually don't know that we can still win. Yeah. Bummer. Seems like probably our worst matchup. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand looks a little better. Probably want to put back one of the 3 drops, so let's put back the Skelly. Spyro and Kroxa obviously go well together. So interesting to see Mire, Bobble, no Lurrus. I think I'm just getting basic Swamp here. Every other land in my deck besides this mountain taps for black. Although I guess I could maybe try to get a Blood Crypt to make Spyro castable. But this also allows us to get Smoldering Marsh. Oh, of course. Yeah, I feel like I should have had this read, that this is Grixis Delver. I don't think that this changes my play, but I probably should have just been able to figure it out. I don't know if I'm favored, specifically because Gurmag Angler is really tough for us to contend with. Do we have a good Heliod matchup? It was our only loss yesterday, was Heliod. I don't think we have a good Heliod matchup, but we at least have 3 Blightbeetles, which is going to help some. Grixis Delver was a read. Grixis Shadow. Was this a Sedona deck? No, this is something I've been working on just by myself. Yeah, Kroxa is really good against them, I think. I agree. So they probably have a Shadow in their hand that they didn't want to deploy into the Lightning Bolts. I guess I could keep the Kroxa in hand to discard to Spyro next turn, but it's such a disaster if they discard spell by Spyro that I'm going to just cast it. But it's also bad if they like discard a land to this and then their Shadow's out of bolt range. A lot of ways this goes wrong. Yeah, I Spaz, you've definitely noticed that correctly. I think that almost every black deck, if not every black deck, should have Blightbeetle in the sideboard. Opponent discarded Breeding Pool, so let's see if this lets them deploy the Shadows. Notably, now that they are officially 4-color Shadow, which is the Shadow deck. If you play if your brain is huge. If you're just like the smartest player ever, that's when you play 4-color. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Spyro. Do I like Blightbeetle more than Emperion? I think Emperion's not good against Heliod. If you're saying in general, no. It's obviously pretty bad draws. I think I'm gonna take 6 here. Alright, pretty sure we're just escaping Kroxa. I was thinking I wanted to take 6 if I drew Bolt. I could, you know, threaten lethal, and we can, you know, maybe just chump block the next 2 turns. No way, they sacked their peatland and then they didn't have another land to play, so they should discard a spell this turn, unless they're holding a land specifically to discard to Kroxa, in which case our opponent's brain would definitely be super wrinkly, although I guess if they discard a land, we'll just attack and make them have a removal spell. They discard Unearth. Guess I'm just gonna hold. Kroxa blocking Shadow. I guess Kroxa plus token beats TBR. 12 minus 6, no, it's just fine by as is. They could also have they could have 3 removal spells, which would make an attack bad. Mammon, deck tech. They're down to 1 card in their hand. It should be a spell, and they drew this Delta for turn, I think. Bant Hollow Genesis. Okay. Sounds like there's a lot going on. Give me a second. Alright, so do I cast Inquisition to put a card in the graveyard? I think I do. Bant Hollow Genesis. Well, I'll say this. You have a whole bunch of cards that sure want to have you know, discard outlets, right? Hollow ones, and yeah, I guess it's just the Genesis, like the squeeze too, but you only have 1 discard outlet in the whole deck in Bizarre Trade Mage. I don't think you could just like hope to draw it every game. I think that you need to find more discard outlets, and I'm not really sure that there are great ones in Bant. But this does not feel like it's enough to me. I guess not casting the Inquisition would have let me Cottage back Spyro and cast Spyro here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just discard this. If we find another fetch land, we get to Kroxa. Although Kroxa is just chumping. Yeah, Kroxa's just chumping, and we lose our Spyro tokens. So let me actually make the tokens first. I'll also say, like, having 1 Jace the Mind Sculptor in the deck, which seems like it's mostly an out to infinite life against Heliod, is not going to be a functional game plan when the rest of your deck is not a control deck with, like, spot removal that can actually keep the Heliod combo in check, which this deck can't do. Although I guess maybe you take infinite turns with the Witness, and maybe that's an okay plan. I'd rather see no Jace, and then I maybe find another discard outlet, but I don't think there's a good one. You lost to Dredge matchup in the final. How would I approach that matchup? Yep, play more sideboard cards for it. I can't remember exactly what sideboard creatures I have right now. I used to play, sometimes I played a Zathid Necromancer? No. That's not it. Yixid Jailer. Yixid Jailer, if you can Chord of Calling for this is the best 2-mana creature to Chord for against Dredge. So you can put one of those in your sideboard. Alright, so we're currently ahead. Our opponent needs to top deck a Fatal Push to make me chump block with Kroxa, or chump block the Elemental. Yeah, Flip Jace could be good, although the problem is, like, you don't have a ton of spells to flash back, but maybe that lets you play, like, 4 Ephemerate or something like that. Deck also seems kind of slow. I put it down to 2. We're down to Temur Battle Rage. I don't think any other top deck of theirs just kills us. Because we beat Fatal Push. Is Containment Priest good enough for Dredge? You don't want to play Containment Priest and 80-card Soul Rider. It, like, turns off your Ephemerates and your Soul Herders. Do not play Ephemerate and 80-card Soul Rider under any circumstance. Or, do not play Containment Priest. How does Rebound work with Flashback? Ooh, good question. So if you're saying if you Snapcaster Ephemerate, I think that you still Rebound it. The problem is like Snapcaster wants your deck to have like 20 spells, and Ephemerate wants your deck to have like 20 creatures, so it's kind of hard to make both work. Alright, Skelly should be lethal. Nice. Close game. I think we have a good matchup. I think I'm bringing in the Platinum package. And cut the Skellies. Something like this. When am I going to sit down for the 4-hour epic that is Jack Snyder's Justice League? When Ginny Nicholson makes her YouTube video about it, if she says it's good, I'll watch it. If not, I'll skip it. I didn't see the original. I'm not very invested in the franchise. Does a rebound explicitly say you need to cast it from your hand? Oh, of course. Never mind. Doesn't work. Thoughts on Dreadhorde over Skelemental in this deck? It feels like we may want another 2-drop. Well, I think Dreadhorde would be fine in this deck. The problem is, I don't think Witch's Cottage is worth it if like the only good thing to get back is Seasoned Pyromancer. But yesterday it was pretty good to just like Witch's Cottage back your Lightning Skelemental twice. We ended up winning a couple games just from doing that. The director said you're not supposed to watch everything straight. You're supposed to stop at chapter 4. Chapter 4. Are there like title cards in the movie? Yikes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just you know, basic bitch and just like the Marvel movies. I don't know. The Christian Bale Batman movies were awesome. The new Joker movie was fine. I guess I can play this tapped. Did Channeler and Kroxa work well enough together? I think they work great together. I know that Kroxa shrinks Channeler, but Channeler fills up the graveyard for Kroxa, which I view to be just much more important than like the fact that Kroxa shrinks Channeler. Especially because, like, you know, even when Channeler is a 4/4, like, there's a little bit of tension because you want to keep activating it a lot of time anyways. No, don't Veil of Summer me. Imagine playing Veil of Summer. Cringe. Cavill's a good Superman. I mean, of course, we all stand Cavill. Cavill's great. That being okay, I will admit something. I'm pretty ashamed. I just now remembered this about myself, but I think I unironically liked Batman v Superman. I think I actually liked that movie. I remember being really hyped for it. I remember like not liking the end very much. I thought the end was kind of bad, but I just thought that the movie was good. I'm not proud of that fact. But I had a good time. I had a good time in that movie. I don't know. Maybe I was just like so excited for it that I tricked myself into liking it. You know, the new Wonder Woman was decent. I haven't seen it yet, but I like the first one. I thought that one was fine. And Birds, like, you know, the Suicide Squad was like the worst. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. But the new one, the Birds of Prey, I thought that one was fine. It was definitely a fun movie. I thought Birds of Prey was fine. You had Jailer in one Overgrown Tomb as your 30th land. Yeah, I don't know that you need the Overgrown Tomb, Vent. I think that you could just try to say, like, if I draw it, I can maybe cast it off of birds. But also maybe the tomb is not that high a cost, I'm just not sure. They took the Madcap. That was a hard Thoughtseize, it looked like. I think I'm getting Marsh here. Makes you want to get a damage tatted on your forehead. All right. Oh, how do I not tell this story like every day of my life? But back when I was in college and the Suicide Squad had like just come out, I had a group project with a guy who got the Suicide Squad Joker tattooed on himself before the movie came out. Before the movie came out, he had the Suicide Squad Joker. Can't remember that guy's name. But he had like a big, full colored Suicide Squad Joker tattoo before it even came out. It was amazing. It was like the wildest thing ever. Yeah, Jared Leto. Jared, cult leader Leto. And you could kind of tell that he knew that he messed up, you know? Yeah, the trailer, like the Suicide Squad trailer was great. And I also feel like maybe the movie could have been edited differently. I wonder like how much of it was the edit and how much of it was the movie being bad. Hard to say for sure. I mean, I will say the tattoo was like a pretty nice tattoo. It wasn't low quality at all. Oh, I remember that year for Halloween. I was trying to be who's the fire guy from Suicide Squad. Okay, nobody knows. That's not the point. But the fire guy from Suicide Squad, I wanted to go as him for Halloween. And there's a scene where he's like in this tank, right? The tank that he lives in because he has all the fire powers that he can't control. And then when he's done talking to the government people, he writes the letters "bye" with fire. And I wanted to be that for Halloween. My opponent needs a spell bomb in response to this to stop me from getting Kroxa down.
Hey, baby. I woke up late, so I can't take Athena out.
Okay, I already took her out. It's fine.
Okay, well, she wants to go out now.
Okay, we'll see if she settles down. If not, I'll take her out. Oh, they cracked the code. I think this is fine. Did the fire thing work? I couldn't make it work. I ended up being the Big Lebowski that year instead. Alright, now I think I'm just gonna discard Blood Crypt and then Inquisition plus push. Yeah, I can't control my fire pyres. I have really good penmanship. I thought it would be awesome to like carry like a light display that said "bye." That would have been so cool. Wait, they drew another explosives? It's pretty sick. Right, no point to casting Kroxa, so we know they have push, so it's just the same effect either way if we cast it or not. Oh, sorry, I was the dude. I wasn't the Big Lebowski. Sorry, I was the dude. And then my best friend was Walter. It was a good time. And that costume, like most of my Halloween costume, got destroyed during a party. My Rin and 6 costume got destroyed. They just all get destroyed. Couples Rin and 6. Yeah, the couples Rin and 6 costume with me and Athena. So yeah, now if they draw a like fatal push, we can just Cottage back the Kroxa and kill them. So they should have no outs here. What is in the Rin and 6 costume? I was like, you know, I was the tree and then Athena was Rin. So I put a wig on Athena. I need Esther to send me the picture. There's only like one picture before I was gonna stream in it, and I wore it to a party, and then I got destroyed in a beer chugging accident. Back Skelemental. Darksteel Citadel. Tormod's Crypt. Wait, this is the Manaless Affinity deck? Okay, well, we might just be dead here. I don't know. They do have a 1-mana 3/3. I guess I'm Thoughtseizing. Excuse me. I mean, we can't push this. A Sanctum of Mugen's their last card. Could lose. Just to the 3/3. I guess it's really a 4/3 because of this. It's really a 4/4 because of both of these. If we had Bolt instead, I guess they'd have the Welding Jar. Yeah, I've seen some people play this deck. It looks fun. It's, you know, definitely a bit of a meme, but sometimes memes are good times. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bolt this. They do get to sack their Welding Jar. Let me actually bolt in their upkeep, so this way they have one less artifact for their big affinity cards. Oh no, +0/+1. No, no. Ah. Oh no. Oh. We're just dead. I can't believe this is how we're going out. Oh my gosh. Well, that was a game. I mean, hard to complain. We got what we deserved. Honestly, Skelemental seems bad because they just empty their hands so quickly. Fatal Push also seems like it misses most of their stuff. I'll play probably like 2 copies. Contribute Unearth. Although actually, let me play it 4 Thoughtseizes on the play. Their deck seems pretty soft to Thoughtseize when they're on the draw. I think I just heard Alexa say something, but I thought Esther left. So they have an unkeepable hand, right? This hand does literally nothing, even if it is a 7-card hand. I think I'm Inquisitioning their Tooth. Just every artifact we take of theirs is so devastating. Did the Witch's Cottage actually do anything? The cottages are good in this deck, yeah. Cottages are good in this deck. They're really good with Seasoned Pyromancer and Skelemental. Yeah, I don't think that their hand was a keepable hand. Yeah, maybe their deck just could never mulligan, but I feel like that was one hand that you should not keep. They draw Darksteel Citadel. Yeah, they still can't cast their guy. Yeah, this hand just is not functional of theirs. But they play Tooth of Chiscana in response. Alright. Bonesawed Ornithopter. See if they use their welding jar or not. It's been a weird league so far. Alright, we'll put a Channeler on top. I think this is how every Jund player imagines all their games going. Just an unbeatable Liliana and a 2/2 in play with an opponent who has a deck that just doesn't function. Just with like 2+ discard spells, just effortlessly dispatching the unplayable deck. And I don't know, I mean, the deck did crush us game 1. Just don't think it's very good. Yeah, so on the draw, the discard spells seem worse. Well, maybe Thoughtseize is better than Inquisition just because it hits their 7-mana guys, because maybe they probably can't play their 7-mana guy on the play. And they also can't beat Madcap, by the way. They just can't beat Madcap. Yeah, we probably deserve to lose game 3 talking smack. I'm gonna keep this. They keep 7. See how good their hand is. Briber's Purse, Storm Count 1. Balding Jar, Storm Count 2. Ornithopter, Storm Count 3. Tooth. Frogmite. Okay, well. If we bolt this, we can stop them from getting a 7 drop down. Maybe I'm supposed to actually push first to try to get the Welding Jar. Push the Frogmite, get Welding Jar off. We're taking 5. It's no joke. I think I'm not Thoughtseizing. They probably have a 7 mana guy in their hand, but I don't think we need to Thoughtseize if we just keep destroying an artifact. And Bonesaw. Hit me for 4 down to 7. Oh, forgot about this. 5 down to 6. Alright, Spyro makes me a little more comfortable. Discard Thoughtseize Channeler. This is a 3-turn clock, though. But they're going to take a turn off to play their Improvised guy and a Mirror Enforcer. Which is not... nothing. Is this 7/5? Unironically good. And bolt this going down to 2. It's probably better to bolt the Ornithopter though, going down to 2. Double block, block, chump chump. Cottage is really good with Seasoned Pyromancer and Lightning Skelemental is the idea. Double block Mirror Enforcer with 2. Block, 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 chump chump, bolts. Block. We're just dead. This opponent's deck is great. Why do I have to explain the Cottage go with the creatures in my deck? Because people are asking and they're curious because I've got a brew. I think I need to top deck a 1-mana removal spell, right? People, you can find this deck list. I know Saffron Olive played it recently. Yeah, Madcap is also an out. Wait, they just don't attack with Frogmite? What a joke. Guess we're still dead next turn though, if we don't draw something. Is there any, are there better blocks than this? This kills that. Yeah, we still need to draw Push, Bolt, or Madcap. Or Spyro. Or Cling to Dust. I don't think we have better blocks though. Oh no, we can escape Spyro next turn actually. Yeah. Forgot about that. I can't kill 2 creatures here. Can't believe they didn't attack with Frogmite. We did draw. Oh no, we can't push. We can't push anything. So we're triple jumping here. Kroxa push puts us dead on board, so we can't Kroxa from graveyard push because nothing here gets pushed. But we don't have revolt. Play Kroxa and push that puts us dead on board. Chat. If we play this Kroxa and push, we're dead on board. We have to Spyro tokens. Starting to look like Madcap or bust. Well, we get to Spyro next turn, make 2 more tokens, and then we get to at least trade for Frogmite with the Spyro. And then there's now we've drawn Madcap, so assuming my opponent doesn't draw anything, we should win next turn, effectively. Thank you, Witch's Cottage. It's even a good draw. Well, we found the tech for this matchup. Just play Madcap. And there's no way they could ever beat this. This also has to attack, although I guess they can pump it. It's kind of funny. Barricade Breaker is pretty cool. But it says, oh, that's Spice. Man, I feel honored getting told my deck is Spice. That's crazy. Yeah, we have the tech for the matchup. Alright, go to match 4. Currently 2-1. Dread seems unwinnable. I mean, Madcap sometimes cheeses the matchup, but I think it's okay to just try to dodge Dredge right now. The deck has a really poor Heliod matchup. It doesn't have a great blue-red prowess matchup. It's not a great choice at the moment for the most part. Can I mulligan this? Let's keep this. I think I'm putting back Bolt number 2. The tech against Dredge is not being great against the meta. Maybe. You know, that is sometimes where Dredge shines. Looking to put together either Burn or Prowess, which I think would be better right now. Prowess, I think. Although, if you feel like you somehow have a good Heliod matchup as Burn, which it seems kind of crazy to think that that's possible, but it might actually be true. No, there's no way. No, never mind. Prowess. Yeah. Hard. They just have so much life gain. Do I think I'll play the blue-black Cottage deck today? I worked on it last night. It still needs work. I was trying a Sultai variant, and I did feel like I had a functional mana base, but I also feel like my mana base was horrible, so I don't know. It's like also like I also felt like I just, oh my gosh, Luris plus Delver, awesome. I also felt like I just couldn't I couldn't play, man, this has been a crazy league. I felt like I couldn't play Cryptic Command or Archmage's Charm in Sultai, and at that point your Snapcasters get way worse. Let's go Swamp Thoughtseize. So I'm trying to figure it out. I think there are a lot of angles to... Oh, they also have Scourge and Shadow. Wow. I think I need to take the Scourge. They can deal themselves 5 and they can play Shadow next turn. I feel like their Snap isn't doing much. And then I'll wait on the Bolt because I'd probably rather Bolt the Shadow. I'm at 20, not anymore. I cast the Thoughtseize. When it reveals Inquisition. So I guess I'm bolting Delver, and then they Inquisition my Spyro, and then we can play Kroxa and try to Cottage back Spyro. Yeah, if it was Inquisition, I like definitely don't take the Scourge. They had Snapcaster, Shadow, Dismember, they play the Shadow. So we had the London Mulligan away a Bolt here. Oh, if I had Cling to Dust to my hand, I could have left them with Scourge. Let me go and just Cling their Bauble, though. Because they do have Luris. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think we just push this now. Play a tapped Blood Crypt. Doesn't mean we can't escape Kroxa next turn, but I think that's okay. So when I say a Snapcaster, Dismember Lurrus. If they snap Inquisition, that's fine. They just put Lurrus into their hand, which is also... I mean, it's pretty good. Getting back Shadow, I suppose. Okay, so... I think a pretty easy turn where we Cottage back Spyro and just cast 2 Kroxas and make them choose which card in their hand they'd like to keep. And I guess by that I mean just let them keep the Lurrus, I suppose. Was it better to just escape Kroxa? Oh no, I didn't have one in the graveyard, so no. No, it wasn't. We're drawing Spyro next turn. Yeah, Lurrus looking so good here. So they can play a 4/4 Shadow. I'm not sure if we're supposed to escape Kroxa or cast Spyro next turn. I feel like it's Kroxa. Problem is, like, their Scourge gets kind of scary. I think it's Kroxa. Leaving just the Cling to Dust in the yard. What card did I miss? Let's use this. Am I interested with brewing with Winota in this current meta? I don't know. I feel like the Winota decks have been figured out, and they have to play a lot of underpowered cards, and their deck is really, really powerful when they don't get disrupted. Well, chose correctly, I guess. Their deck is really, really powerful when it doesn't get disrupted, and not that powerful when it does. Also, like, just folds to other linear decks sometimes. So I don't have any tech that makes Winota better in my mind. You know, I don't have any like crazy ideas for it. I just think I mostly understand why it's played the amount it is. My opponent can snap Team or Battle Rage. Yeah, I think they're just going to play Scourge, though. But snap Team or Battle Rage next turn is scary. Oh. Oh, snap Inquisition my Spyro. Makes sense. And are they going to attack with their Shadow, though? Because if they do, I guess they can just chump with their snap on my Kroxa. Pyre Winota. Yeah, we tried to figure out Pyre Winota. Ended up not even playing the Winota as we were building the deck. Bad top deck. I think we just concede. Yeah, we just can't win. Tough stuff. Sweet, well played, opponent. Opponent's deck does look cool. And I'm going to bring in the Platinum package, bring in Fatal Push number 4, going to cut the Thoughtseizes. We've boarded out Skellies in all of our matchups. We also haven't played against good Skelly matchups. This deck definitely shines against linear decks, linear non-aggro decks. Opponent playing Lurrus Delver over Angler. That's what it seems. They also might have... They might have a Sprite Dragon. Wizards tweeted recently that they're looking into why decklists haven't been posted, and nobody knows when that's gonna come back up. I'm gonna keep this obviously a slow hand, but pretty grindy. We're on the play. It's hard to mulligan in a matchup like this. Wow, the nuts again. Would Rotting Regisaur be better than Skelemental? I don't think so. Like, the idea here is that, like, Skelemental is a really good card to Cottage back, where you, like, hit them with Skelemental, you get to Cottage it back, hit them again. That's 12 damage right there. You know, cottaging back Skelemental and cottaging back Spyro really feels like getting back Archmage's Charm. And I'm pretty excited by that. But I don't think Rotting Regisaur is like a good mid-range threat. It's like maybe like a stompy threat, maybe not a playable card at all. I know that we're running into stub here. I think it's still fine to just jam. Just trading cards is okay when you have Spyro. No, wrong colors. I think I'm discarding Mire Kroxa. Do I hold the Cottage? I think I'm just going to play it and not target anything. Yeah, Dredge is like... Regisaur is a cool sideboard card out of Dredge. When people side up their removal against you. Kolaghan's Command? How's the deck versus Burn? I think it's like the Madcap's really good against Burn. It's okay, I think. Got a lot of cheap interaction. Have one Cling to Dust. So next turn, it's gonna be really good if we get to go Channeler, Bolt, Unearth, Spyro. Got a deck tech for Brewfisto. Yorion. Alright, a Pioneer deck. I'm getting better about that now, realizing that the deck is in Pioneer. It's kind of an awkward draw. I think that we're gonna start off with Bolt on Delver, play Channeler, and then Unearth Spyro, and if they have a Stubborn Denial, they'll counter this. I think we have this that maybe won't get stubbed next turn. I will say that I think Panharmonicon is a little underpowered as a card in Pioneer. Just a 4-mana artifact that you have to tap out for that doesn't do anything the turn you play it is pretty risky. Right? And then also if we get to Unearth Spyro, and it's not even that bad for us. Although drawing this isn't that good. But one thing we can do is like potentially Cottage it to the top if we draw the second one. If we get to discard it. I don't see anything immediately wrong with your build though. Like I might play like a third Hostage Taker. That card seems pretty good. But your build seems good if this is something you want to do. The problem is that I think this kind of deck doesn't typically find success in Pioneer. Alright, double Scourge. We don't have our Cling to Dust, sadly. We're probably escaping Kroxa this turn. We'll see what we draw. Alright, that's something that changes my mind. Hopefully I boarded in the second one. Looks like I did. And I think we attack with Spyro. Shouldn't Spyro be the last card to cast? Not always. Not always. Like, that turn if we played Madcap and he gets stubbed, and, like, our opponent just gets to Time Walk us with the stub, it's so bad, as opposed to, like, having triple impactful spell last turn. And, also, like, that last line was... that I'm assuming you're talking about the last turn's line, but that line is also good against stub, because if they stub, you're unearthing, we still have the Madcap in the hand. If they don't have stub, we're still in, like, good position. Just having a very impactful turn. They snap Dismember, so I guess they also have Bolt in their hand. So if I double block Scourge with 2 elementals, it doesn't actually kill the Scourges, so I think I just take it here while they're at 4, and then they're dead to a removal spell. Yeah, I agree that they probably could have waited to just snap back the command. Ding, 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 ding. Sure thing, Brewfisto. Hope you enjoy playing the deck. Definitely looks fun. Alright, gonna resubmit, I think. Maybe board this out. I don't know, I feel like it's pretty important to have access to. It's not like their Kolaghan's commands are just dead otherwise. Yeah, this has been a league where we've cited in the Madcap package every match. I think Madcap Experiment or Jeskai Wildfire is better positioned. I would say Jeskai Wildfire, but I would recommend both decks. Let me keep this and put back the bolts. I want to keep Unearth for the Spyro in case they have a discard spell. This hand's really weak to a discard spell if we put back the Unearth. I'm not playing Urborg. This is the only non-swamp deck in the only non-swamp land in the deck. I think you could play an Urborg. But I'm just like a little worried that the card is not going to be super consistent, and sometimes Urborg does help your opponent's mana base. Alright, bad draw. At one point, I think I cannot really imagine too many metagames where main decking Madcap is good. It's just like it is really bad against every Teferi Time Raveler deck, every Tron deck, every Titan deck, every control deck. You know, most mid-range decks, but not every mid-range deck. You can do a fetchless mana base. Not with this. This deck actively wants fetch lands, of course, because of the, Cottage thing. Can you donate $5 for deck tech? You can, Panda. That's the going rate, actually. Yeah, I want to kill the Delver so they can't necessarily cast Scourge. No, you're good, Panda. I'm not worried about it. Urborg doesn't help Cottage. Urborg does help Cottage if you have exactly your basic mountain. But that is the only time it helps. Please be nice to me. I'll try. No promises. Yeah, I guess we could hardcast this, but we're probably going to Spyro it away. They better have a counterspell or a piece of graveyard hate to take Spyro over Unearth. They did cycle a spell bomb, so they definitely could just have another one here, I guess. Yeah. Dang it. So we just cast Unearth, make them crack the spell bomb without getting a card. And then we can cast Kroxa. I think I'm cycling Unearth. I mean, Snapcaster's not doing a lot right now. But Fatal Push is also just not that good against our deck. I'll take the Snapcaster. And then we can also maybe just get the push out of their hand with the Kroxa. It's not going to be as nice as soon as I see what it is. Bergy, 1,000 Year Storm. Well. Oh boy. I mean, Ironcrag Feet in a 1,000 Year Storm deck doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Although I guess it is pretty good with Banefire, actually. Let's see what you're doing. I like Mox Amber a lot with Bergy. They drew another Shadow. It's pretty good for them. Madcap? Spyro? Alright, I'm going to hope that they crack their spell bomb end of turn, and I'm going to be able to Cottage back Spyro in response. Wait, why would they push Kroxa? Oh, to lose life. What a play. What a gamer. Well played. And Panda, I'm not sure. I feel like I will tell you I think this list is unplayable. However, I think that if you are going to try to brew around 1000 Year Storm, you have probably about as good a version as you can possibly have. So, for that, I commend you and caution you also against playing the deck. What's my take on Euro Omnath players saying they don't see good control decks when MTGO display the contrary? Well, it feels like a loaded question, but obviously I disagree with them. But it also sucks to have your favorite deck banned, so I understand, you know, lashing out in anger. Man, Panda, honestly, I can't see a single decision that I dislike. I like the Sprite Dragon sideboard plan. I even like this Chandra, but boy, do I have a disdain for 1000 Year Storm. But obviously I disagree that control decks are, you know, unplayable now. But, you know, stinks to have your pet deck banned. Can be nice to everybody. Can maybe Unearth Spyro next turn if we get to chump. If we don't, we're dead. Have I seen the Bring to Light Storm deck that runs 4 CMC green ritual that adds Werborg? Yeah, I have seen it, and it seems much worse than the regular blue-red Storm. You untap with them. Let's keep this. Snow-covered Forest Arbor Elf. Ponza playing Avalanche Riders is pretty interesting. I think I'm just taking the Avalanche Riders. We don't really care that much about Magus right now. We have a lot of answers to it, and we have our Swamp. Yeah, Riders and Ponza is kind of weird. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not something I think I necessarily sign off on. Now our 1/3 blocks our opponent's entire board. Awesome. Alright, they have one unknown card. It is a spell. That spell is Avalanche Riders. Fair enough. They're probably paying Echo, right? Alright, can get our Swamp now. Man, every time I see a tapped Polluted Delta, it's always always makes me laugh. So we're gonna get basic Swamp, and Smoldering Marsh here. Or we can play basic Mountain and then get the Marsh, but I think I want to get the second Swamp. So cycle this. No, I didn't mean it to be too loaded, just honestly disappointed. Fire design. Promote the metric of deck X as other powder playable. That also feels loaded. I don't know, it's like I disagree with that sentiment that deck is either overpowered or unplayable. I think that the ban decisions were good. But it's okay to disagree, and it's okay to be upset your pet deck got banned. Alright, good draw, opponent. We can grow this to 4/4 at instant speed. Wow. Oh, they have no... Oh, never mind. These are humans. Never mind, those are humans. Unwow. Oh, I guess they can escape Spiral to get triggers. Well, this makes sense. This is cool. This is cool. They've got a brew. So if this is their attack, they draw lightning bolts. I'll just block, and then we can cling to dust their Seasoned Pyromancer tokens if we want. Although it's probably just better to escape Kroxa, right? And then put Skelemental on top with Cottage. Does Winota have legs in Modern? We were just talking about it. Like, I don't have any tech for it, I think. Maybe this is a cool version our opponent has, but... Winota's a super powerful card, but the cards you have to play to make Winota work are underpowered, in my opinion. Guess I should have Edicted first. This is okay because it makes them chump block with their elemental, so they're still not getting a Winota trigger next turn. Yeah, I mean, Geistarter Monk is awesome. Can't argue with that. Alright. Opponent's the gamer. Yeah, I agree with you, Brewfisto. Fire is just a slogan, you know? It's like, just like fire by itself doesn't really mean anything. Let's go Batter Skull. I guess now we know they have Stoneforge. I think I'm just going to Clean to Dust their Spyro right now. And I will say that Wizards has made a lot of mistakes in the last couple years, but boy, like the last couple years have been my favorite years playing Magic ever. And a lot of that is due to the fact that, you know, the stream has been so successful, but I know I'm having a great time, and I generally like the cards to be, you know, a little more interesting. We're getting Embercleaved. Nice. Nice. Yikes. Sick rip. I think Lily's looking pretty bad to me in this matchup. I think I want Fatal Push number 4. Thoughtseize. Let's be very interactive. I think that the experiment is good enough to keep. I'll use something like this, the strength of it here. I did end up brewing with the Snap Cottage last night. I still need to keep working on it though. I had a Sultai list that I now don't think was very good. I mean, I will take a million Thrones of Thrones of Eldraine before we ever have a set like Ixalan again. That is just so boring, and like the cards are just so medium, and like the flavor of the set is like very gimmicky. I like Ixalan is in like Hour of Devastation. I don't want any more sets like those. Bo's got a lot of mana to fight that a bit here, I guess. Notably, we can, if we draw a fetch land, Cottage back Emperion and then cast Madcap next turn. Yeah, like for sets like Ixalan and Dragons of Tarkir that are just like, this set's cool because it has dinosaurs. This set's cool because it has dragons. Like those sets just feel like super gimmicky to me, and I end up not liking them very much. It's like, why did it have? It just had way too much going on. All right, please do not hit exactly Avalanche Riders. Okay, this is fine. Madcap is pretty funny against Angrass Marauders. I want to find a fetch land here. I think I'm going to discard Spyro. Didn't find one. It's fine. We have 11 fetches in the deck, so I felt kind of favored to hit one. Alright, we'll see if our opponent has a Fiend Hunter in their deck that they can dig for. but Dragons had awesome cards. Dragons was okay. It's just like, but compared to like Khans of Tarkir and Fate Reforged, were two like very, very sweet, flavorful sets that I really, really liked. And then we went from that to Dragons, which felt like a very gimmicky set that I didn't really care for very much. But obviously, this is all just my personal opinion, and you can agree or disagree with it. Okay, maybe I bolted the bird there. Always bolt the bird. New Mario teaser posted. Is that for what? Strixhaven? Oh, don't really care about these. I just want to see the actual cards, you know? Let's see, if we find a cottage, we can madcap. Don't find a cottage. Surge Protector, 2 months. Welcome back, buddy. Hope you're having a good one. Alright, opponent concedes. Awesome. This has definitely been the league of madcap. Yeah, Hour was a good draft set. Yeah. Hot take, I really enjoyed Hour draft and flavor. I think that's fine. I wasn't a big fan. Obviously, these are all just my personal opinions, but like what sets I enjoyed thematically, and everybody's going to have different opinions. Easy keep. Put them all to 6. Why did the blue cottage have to leave us? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe cottaging back Snapcaster is going to work. My first draft was bad. I'm going to keep working on it off stream and hopefully find a good version for everybody. PVDR's card? What's Paulo's card? Wait, did Paulo get to design a card for being great at Magic? Because that's awesome. If so, big if true. It's just his picture is in Strixhaven. That is also really cool, though. I like that. I think that's neat. Yeah, Paulo is great at Magic. Like I was just asking if like he got a invitational card kind of thing. That's very cool. I like. They have to discard their. They do have Magus, so I think we're gonna go Smoldering Marsh or Basic Swamp Smoldering Marsh here. Do you think Monarch mechanic would be interesting in Modern? No, absolutely not. I think mechanics like Monarch are parasitic to 60 card formats that they just absolutely were not designed for. Every time I've played Monarch and Pauper or Legacy, it's just like been a pretty obnoxious mechanic. But it's been very fun in multiplayer formats I've played, and I would just like to keep it out of Modern. Modern seems to be like mostly immune to a lot of like the bullshit, which is nice. Do I enjoy the Japanese style reprints? I guess I don't know to what you're referring. Alright, we have 2 Emperions in play. Good luck. I'm gonna attack. If you don't have the Skull and Charge for Jessica Wildfire, or Delta's the next best option. I think Arid Mesas are the next best option. Beyond that, I'm not sure. You know, you can play some amount of check lands and, you know, fast lands, but Scalding, like you're gonna miss Scalding Tarn. Scalding Tarn's really important to the deck. I feel like I would play Arid Mesa over Delta though. Delta's maybe fine. Alright, all 4 drops. Maybe I should have pushed a token first. Yeah. I mean, Mace is definitely an expensive card. Just like if they're asking for the next best option, but past Scalding Tarn, it's Arid Mesa, which is also not a budget card. What, Prismatic Vista? I don't think you want Vista. Like, you could maybe play 1, but I think it's going to be an awkward card. So my opponent think that this triggered would notice. And 3 and 2. I think I'm going to play 1 more league with this. I've got a couple of other decks prepped too. But I think I'm going to play at least 1 more with red-black.